Dang it. I forgot. All right. Well, sorry, replay folks. You only get half of the good stuff. I forgot to hit record. So sorry. Okay. Moving on. Anybody else have a question?
So I don't have a question, but I have a request. Is it okay to share that quickly?
Sure.
So I am looking for feedback on my ideas from women professionals, and I know there are many women professionals here. So if you're willing to give me your feedback on my ideas, I have some ideas for my new coaching program. I would love to take just 20 to 30 minutes of your time and work out perhaps some exchange or something and offer a gift coaching or something that would work for you. So my email's in the chat. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you.
All right. Let's see. Oh, did we lose Christine? Christine, didn't she have a question? Looks like we lost her.
I
All
don't have,
right.
I don't have a
Good.
question, but and I'm still a mom. My mom, they're men today, so they don't necessarily need their mom. But I'm in the middle of the sandwich. I do care for my 97-year-old father, and it's a lot. It's 5 years now, and I just wondered if instead of just focusing on like moms, like she was saying, uh, if you could categorize it as a caregiver in any stage of life. I don't know if that would help you, but I have the wisdom of being a mother and have the wisdom of going through this with my husband and also my mother. So I've been down this road before. And I think someone here said about grief, which I'm not grieving in any way, but um, I don't know if that helps. But I'm already walking in those shoes, and I've been in the shoes for many years. So is my husband. So yeah.
Thank you, Giovanna. Appreciate your insight.
I also have a suggestion, Courtney, and maybe this is useful or not, I don't know, but like I've coached women who have lost a child, and one of my probably I don't it wasn't challenging. I think it was beautiful clients. She actually lost both of her children, both to suicide. And when that happened, it was one after another. It wasn't at the same time or anything. I was already coaching her after the first child passed, and she was very strong and loving and doing well. And then her second child also took his life. And even I, as a coach, said, oh boy, that's kind of large because I don't know what it would be like to lose all of my children. I only know what it's like to lose one child. So I had to do a lot of inner coaching on myself to understand it. But as a parent, what I helped her with most was going back to the woman she was before children, and re-identifying with the woman to build who she wanted to be today. She will always be a mother, even though her children have passed. She will always have her motherly instincts, but she also has the opportunity now to reinvent herself and become the woman she really wants to be with the loss of her children. And so, you can look at the individual and who do they want to be in the experience they're having, whether it's parenting a parent or a husband or a child, right? We all have something in our hearts we identify and fulfill ourselves with. And it's good just to kind of really identify with all of that so that you can help your clients better.
Oh, totally. And that's like the crux of all the work that I do, not only for myself personally, but professionally with the women I work with too, right? Is like coming back to that core essence of who you are versus who the world is telling you to be. And I think the reason I'm so honed in on moms is and I'm gonna kind of verbalize this out loud with you guys. And I'd love reflection again, but you know, because of my past traumas and the things that I've been through, I have this huge passion for kids. I was a pediatric nurse for 15 years, and I think that every kid deserves to be seen and loved and heard and valued and all of these things, right? Every human on the planet deserves that, but kids especially. And the kids impacting them is going to allow for this vibration of the planet to rise, right? As we're building up this next generation. And as a mom myself, and then knowing that moms have such a huge impact on their kids, and knowing that moms, especially, I feel like my generation has really been called to really work on themselves and see how we can break these generational cycles, right? We're becoming aware. We are just very open to the idea of doing things differently, being a parent different than we had as parents, right? Like when we were kids, we didn't have the parents we needed necessarily, and to be that parent for our kids is huge. And so that's where my passion comes from, and why I'm so drawn to like the mother aspect. But I love what you guys are saying of like, really, there's this motherly nurturing thing in every woman, and even men too, right? As a dad, some people are dads, some people aren't. Or I've been meeting women recently too who are like, well, I decided to not have kids because of the way I was parented, and I didn't want to repeat that, right? So yeah, I would love to hear any feedback that or reflection that you guys have as well on that. But that's kind of where I'm coming from.
That's great.
Yeah, so I love what you're saying, Courtney. And when I work with mothers, I love working with mothers as a mother myself. I always say to them that you are the hub of the family. And when the mother does a lot of healing on herself, then the kids sort of just by osmosis, just by transmission, pick up the shifts, because I've seen it in my son. I've seen changes in him because of changes I made in myself. So I love that you want to focus on moms, because I think the more the mother takes care of herself and is deeply centered and grounded in herself, in her heart, in her body, then the whole family benefits. So, yeah, I think it's great what you're doing.
Thank you. And that's exactly what it is shining the light on ourselves based on our triggers, right? You all understand
Yes.
this. I don't have to explain it to you, but the thing that I'm really working on is trying to get in front of more women and more moms. And so in speaking that's my goal, switching marketing, da 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 da. Anyway, so yeah.
There are a lot of I don't know, maybe you've looked into this, mom groups on social media. Although, wait a minute, I think you said you wanted to move away from social media into live speaking. Yes?
Exactly. I want to move away from social media and get more in front of people. That's where people feel my energy the best.
Yep, that's true.
Have you thought about podcasts, inviting yourself or reaching out to podcasts?
I'm doing podcasts currently. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
I wonder if you started with that sentence you said that because the passion seems to come from the experiences you had during your nursing career. I wonder if you started with that sentence to really hook other nurses, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pique the interest of people. Like, you must have seen a lot of stuff that most of us don't experience if we're not in that position. And it was tugging at your heart all those years. And this is why you want to make an impact.
Yeah. I think
Because, like Pragado said, goes from the mom to the child, radiates back and forth. So when you, I don't know if the word is heal, but if the mom, gets into her own core essence, right, then the children will feel the difference.
Exactly. And not just their kids, but their husband and the rest of the world, right? We are the
Right.
lighthouse. And yeah, absolutely. It's interesting that you said that it seemed like the passion really stemmed from being a nurse at the bedside with kids, because I don't see it that way. But now that you say that, I'm like, well, yeah, I guess it is. It's what led me to figuring out my own stuff, right? So I
Yeah.
appreciate all of your feedback. I so appreciate it. I don't want to take up like any more time if there's other people that have questions and stuff.
Yeah, but can I just chime in real quick, Laura?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I think along that same line, like reaching out to nurses, having worked in the hospital and understanding those long hours and wanting to be everything to everybody all the time, not just your patients in the hospital, your team in the hospital, and then your family too. And not that and then comes, not that family is an
But that's
and
often
then.
how it is we take care of
Yeah,
everybody else
yeah.
and our family kind of gets left for the rest, right?
Yeah, yeah. So maybe offering at like a local hospital the opportunity to go in and speak to nurses about how they can nurture themselves first so that they can give back, you know?
Yeah,
Because
I love that.
I know when I worked in the hospital and working 12-hour shift, there was very little left for everyone else, even though I still did it all. It wasn't on the same scale as what I gave my patients.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hmm.
Thank you, Susie.
Yep,
Well, and
sure.
pediatric nurses would be a great referral source. I mean, even if you're not
Hmm.
there to help them specifically, just to make connections and say, hey, I was this too, and here's what I'm doing. And please let me know if you have anybody that you think. So it's not really a speaking gig, but it's more, making connections and collaborating with your former colleagues.
That is so true. Thank you so much.
All right. Anybody else have anything they want to bring to the table?
I was wondering like what sort of success stories people have like collaborating with other, wellness practitioners, even doing like online type like webinars, things like that, and what's worked and what hasn't.
So I'll speak to that real quick. I did my very first summit with a group of women, and like I didn't feel ready for it. I jumped with both feet. And like 2 days before, I was like, what the fuck have I got myself into? I am not ready for this. And it was the best experience of my life. I made really good connections with the other presenters. So I think there were like, I might not get this right, somewhere between 8 and 10 of us, but also, the attendees. So it just worked to help to build my presence in front of a new group of eyes. So it was totally cool. Like I totally do it again,
Awesome.
even though I was in the moment before of what the heck.
Yeah,
And
of
Susie,
course.
would you stress about doing it again? Because I do webinars all the time. Well, not all
Mhm.
the time. I should do webinars all the time, but I also stress about doing them ahead of time until the time actually happens, and then it's like the best thing in the world. So, I don't. Do you think you would stress again if you did that?
Um, I think that there will always be a level of stress. Yes. But it was not as scary. And maybe it was the host. She made it very easy and low key. But she asked a lot of questions. It was more of an interview style. And then she would chime in and say, well, what about this? I hear you saying this. And then I was able to elaborate. And so it was a lot of back and forth, which was really cool. Yeah. And so in a different environment, yes, I'd probably stress just as much.
But webinars, I'll speak to that. I'm going to try to do 4 this year. First one's in March. I put the link in the chat, but they are an opportunity for you to show your expertise, possibly get in front of new people depending on how you market your webinar. And then if you have something to sell on that webinar, then it's also a way to get customers in the door, so to speak. So I'm a big proponent of webinars.
Joseph, were you specifically asking about joint partnerships with webinars or just any joint partnership in general?
Yeah, I guess in general, like whatever people like found the most success with, I suppose.
Okay, because I can speak to that. I love joint venture partnerships. I feel like that's a great way for me to get in front of different audiences. I really do well with joint partnerships. However, I've experienced a lot of successful ones in my career and a lot of not successful ones. And I found that the ones, we'll start with like the not successful for me, were the ones where the shared goal wasn't fully clear. Like we had this general concept and was like, oh, this is going to be great. But when it came down to like the details, our goals were different enough that what we were doing didn't really line up in a path where we could move forward together. So that was one issue I had. Another one was that we served pretty much the same exact client. And it became more of like, for some strange reason, it became more of like a competition thing versus a collaboration thing because and I don't want to like speak, I'm trying not to speak poorly about anybody because it takes two in any relationship to tango, but you can't have a partnership if you're seeing this, if you like serve the same client and it's like, oh, well, I don't want to do this to you because you might take away my client opportunities. It was just a very energetically bizarre thing.
Mm.
That really led to competition. What has been successful for me is collaborating with someone who serves a similar audience, but we do different things. Like for example, I do a collaborative Reiki and Qigong workshop with someone, and she does the Reiki part and like the essential oils, and I do the Qigong movement somatic part. And it's the same people who are looking for modalities within the Chinese medicine realm, but we
Mm.
do something totally different and we can complement each other and come together and offer something unique to people. So that's been successful. And then also too, like when you're sending out emails to each other's newsletters, like doing a joint email exchange type of thing, you're
Mm.
speaking to the same audience. Because I've been in joint partnerships where we think we have the same audience, but we really don't. And so then you're just sending out emails and it doesn't resonate to both
Mm.
parties. So I guess in my long verbiage here, it's really just make sure that your goals are the same. You're very clear in the details of how you want this to look and where it's going. But also, are we complementary, to each other? Do we serve the exact same people, but yet we do something different enough that it benefits both parties?
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Kathy.
Yeah, and to piggyback on what you said, I've partnered with a bunch of practitioners too to do webinars, and the one thing that I've learned is to set really clear expectations of what you plan to get out of it. So kind of the same thing, objectives and goals, but just even to the point of sharing the registrants for the webinar, and sharing the work of posting and doing all that, because I've seen where I've done all the work and then the other person hasn't. The goal is for all of us to get awareness, right, and grow our business, and see that it's one-sided. So now I literally put an expectation sheet together and make sure we're on the same page before we even move forward.
That's so smart too, Kathy.
Yeah, that is.
Something that this was kind of unintentional, but it worked really well, and I wasn't even trying to monetize it. So, this I was sharing a lot of like my spiritual journey, spiritual awakening on Instagram at one point, and I kind of found myself in this community of other people who were coming from similar places, going similar places, and it was more of a fun thing. But I ended up like podcast hopping, just like going on a lot of the podcast hosts podcast in this kind of community. And so there was this level of like saturation. So where people everywhere people were turning, they were hearing from Edie like in a span of 1 year, because they follow a lot of the same people. And I mean, I grew my like 5x to my followers. I mean, I started at like 100, but in that year, got a lot of followers that were warm, that knew me because they listened to me speak for an hour, and that were very aligned because they were coming from another person I was aligned with. That's why I was on their podcast. So that's something that, like I said, it was kind of coincidental. I didn't mean to do it, but that I think could be really powerful, because yeah, I do like the idea of like almost being inevitable. Like again, like for a group of people, everywhere they look, they see Joseph and they are like, yeah, he's the finance guy. And so I found that to be tremendous. And when I do my marketing, I try to focus on like saturation in one very specific area.
Thank you.
You'd have a good in, I think, with a lot of podcasts in the holistic arena because, like I said, we have a lot of wellness practitioners that are great at their craft, but in terms of like running a business or the financial part, it's a little out of their realm of expertise. I mean, even if you get in there and talk about, this is like the biggest mistake that many people in the wellness industry make. You're gonna, get the ears of those or that know that they're not great with the financial side of their business or their life, but you have such experience. So I could see that being like a great speaking topic on podcasts.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I agree. That's exciting. And even for like other people that I guess like other clients of other practitioners working, sure money comes up often and like somebody else, if I'm able to like add any value on top of that or, from a different lens or like actually doing like the hands-on stuff beyond, um, all the mindset things. Yeah, I think there'd be a lot of like cool opportunities to help people.
Well, and too, Joseph and Camille, there's a lot of grief around money, grief and
Yeah,
loss issues. So maybe thinking
yeah,
outside the box too. And you'll only know because you know your ideal clients, but me just like working with people, going through divorce and having to lose that financial stability and oh my gosh, now I'm only one income and what am I going to do and what does that look like? And there can be a lot of loss around money.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
So maybe people, and I'm not saying like, Camille, you have to hook up and do something with Joseph, but I'm just using you as an example because you're here and you do grief and loss.
It's actually
But
a great connection because it does come up a lot. It's, a fear factor, especially with divorce and a breakup, or even a loss of job brings up grief and, of course, financial fear.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
yeah, I'd love to like even brainstorm sometime.
absolutely. Absolutely. Did you put your connections in the chat?
I will.
Okay.
Thank you.
I have to log off in a few minutes because I have another appointment. So get it in there so I can get it.
I will. Thanks.
All right. Thanks.
good stuff, thinking outside the box.
That's right.
All right, anybody else? We still have about 10 minutes.
Can I ask something specific to the holistic chamber?
Sure.
Okay. So I submitted an article. How will I know if that article, like when and if that article will be submitted or posted?
The way it works is that we send you an email. If it wasn't accepted, you would got an email back from us saying, here, can you tweak this? But we do then send an email that says, hey, your article has been posted. So you will get like an email that says that. I can look real quick though for you and just see if it's been submitted. Yeah, it's been submitted. Sometimes it takes a little while to post. I don't do the technology part behind that, but there was
No
nothing wrong
worries.
with that. Yeah, you'll get an email that just says, hey, your article was posted.
It's the first time I've done it, so I don't know like the
Mhm.
protocol for how it runs. So I just thought, since nobody was asking any other questions, that I would do
It's all good. I'm happy to answer HCC questions when I can. Some things are out of my pay grade, but other than that.
I'll tag on to that, Susie. Camille reached out to me a while ago and asked for an article on a very specific topic, which I then sent it back to her, which I feel is probably out of the proper circulation. I'm wondering if my name is actually on that list either.
It is not
Okay.
because I am the article person. So if it does not come to me, it is probably sitting in Camille's box in Never Land somewhere.
Perfect. I will send it to you, Laura.
Very good. And we do need articles. So if you're an Amplify member, those of you that are guests, we have two levels of membership. We have our Connect level, which is the ability to participate here, to attend our events, to submit an event to our event calendar. You get your part of your directory listing off our website. But Amplify members have the opportunity for more visibility, speaking at our events. And writing articles for our resources section. We do need some articles. So if those of you who are Amplify members on here, please send me some articles or blog posts because we are looking for more of that. Oh, and also too, we do have some long-term Connect level members that are invited to speak, but that's more invitation only just because they've been with us for years and years and years, and we know their expertise and we're looking for something specific. So, but yeah, send me articles, peoples. Because the more that we can be a resource for the community, the more eyeballs we have on us as that resource, which is of benefit to you because, yes, we're made up of holistic and wellness practitioners and also conventional business owners that believe in our mission and vision. But we have a whole nother side of just the consumers, the people that are looking to us for reliable information and what's happening and to learn different therapeutic tools and techniques. So the more that we can get our information out there off our website as a resource, then the more people we can draw in to the community. All right, anybody else? We're good. All right, everybody. So thank you for participating in Guest Access Month. Let's see, next week we have a wellness series event. Cordelia is going to be talking about stress. Then the second week of March, we have our Conscious Connections Zoom networking. Camille's going to be doing a business masterclass talking about making the best use of your membership. And then we have at the end of March, another mastermind. And finally, the very, very last week, week of March, I'm going to be doing Qi Time, and this is open to everybody. It's basically a special just Qigong breathwork class for your own physical well-being. So we'll invite members and also non-members to just show up and give yourself this little gift of practice. So we'll be doing that the very last week of March. So that's it in a nutshell. Thanks for being here, everybody. I will hang out for just an extra minute if anybody has a question. If not, have a great rest of your day. I'll see you around.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks.
All right, Laura, I've got one more question regarding the chamber.
Okay.
Can I put, so I don't know, I've been chosen as a woman of impact for Go Red for Women. Can I advertise on there? Like, not advertise, but yeah, put like maybe a post up and talk about the importance. And then if anybody's interested in making donations, they can click that link, or is that not cool there?
Oh, you mean in the article section?
Not it, like maybe, I don't know.
Where would
I
you
don't know
put
how I would
that?
do that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So one place you can do things like that is in the members only Facebook group.
Okay.
Although, you know, Facebook groups, people, from what I've seen, aren't paying, you know, a whole lot of attention to Facebook groups anymore. I think they've just become very overwhelming. But what you can do is you can create and like make it an event, and just pick a day, not just like general advertising. So wait, tell me a little bit. It's a
it's Women of Impact. It's the Go Red for Women campaign. So it's about raising awareness about, you know, regarding heart disease in women.
Okay, is there a special date that this is happening, that everybody's coming together?
So, well, that already passed, but the campaign goes on until April 9th. So it's a period from the first Friday in February until April 9th is the run of the campaign. So even though it's like Heart Month right now, and I was like, shoot, I should have reached out to you sooner because Heart Month is always a good time to do it. But like next month, there's what is it, International Women's Day and stuff like that. So there's a lot of opportunities to still.
Well, you can just, you know, kind of pick a
Pick
day.
a
Like I would
day.
do a post.
Okay.
I would do a post for March and then do one through April, and just
Okay.
maybe like for the 15th of March, say, hey, you know, it's special donation day for this. So just like pick a day, and say in honor of, you know, I'm doing a call out on this day to donate for XYZ, and here's why, and blah blah blah. So just pick a date, and you can do one post for March, and since it goes through April, pick, you know, in April you can do, you know, the last day to donate is whatever date this is. And just
So
do
you're
it that way.
saying post, so do that in the Facebook group, not on
No,
the.
make an event. Make an
Okay. Oh, make an
event.
event. Okay.
Yeah, because then I will pull it and do that like today. Because
Okay.
this week I have to work on the March 1st newsletter, and that way it will also go out in our first of the month newsletter. It will go out, you know, in our consecutive Sunday emails. But if it's not on the event calendar, then you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. I will do that. Thank you.
Okay. You are very welcome. All right, Teja Shri, do you have, were you just hanging out and listening, or you got a question?
Oh, no, sir. I actually forgot to close the browser. Yes. Okay. Thank
okay.
you.
Very good.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Bye,
Bye.
all.
Bye.